important to dress right. I want to look slick, to look sleek, to look like a fresh thing. I've got a message. I'm the message. Study me, baby, because in 10 minutes, I'm out of here.
What are the issues for which you would kill? I like to ask this question to my students on their first day of class. I assign them novels where the hero or heroine kills or is killed. I try to bring it home. And they tell me they kill to defend their friends, their family. Fair enough. I ask them if they would kill for their country, for their freedom. What would it take?
I'd kill for a pair of Prada velvet platforms in deep plum. Those are to die for.
Simone. I didn't know what she was doing in my class, neither did she apparently. Nice segue, Simone. Would we be willing to die for the same things we kill for? I wanted her to participate. She always sat in the back, never spoke. Wore too much lipstick and some costume straight out of what? Vogue. And whenever she did speak, it was always disruptive.
I for love. It's like there ain't no Romeos out there. Not that I've seen. I'd take a bullet for my daddy, but he's already dead.
If I could.
I'd die of boredom if it were lethal. But I guess it isn't.
If I couldn't inspire her, I wanted her gone. I had asked her to come to my office. I had asked her several times. She was failing, obviously. And I would have let her drop the class, but it was too late for that. She never bothered to come see me, not until the day before the final exam. She wanted me to give her a passing grade. How can I do that, Simone? You haven't read any of the material. Have you read any of the material?
It's long.
If you haven't read it, how do you know that? You may find yourself surprised. You know, Anna Karenina is wonderful.
I don't find it relevant.
Why not give it a shot?
The books you assign are depressing. I don't want to be depressed. Why read stuff that brings you down? Kafka? Jesus Christ, I started it, okay? The guy was fucked up.
So you were moved at least.
Yeah, move to shut the book and find something more interesting to do.
That's too bad. You know, you may find yourself surprised. You may find that one of these books gets under your skin if you really stick with it. Haven't you ever read anything that really moved you?
Nothing moves me, Dr. Ruth.
I'm gonna have to ask you not to like that in my classroom.
Okay. Ask. C art or B art? I choose the latter.
Somebody must be paying for this education of yours. I imagine they expect a certain return for their money.
What makes you think I'm not the one paying for it?
I don't believe someone who is spending their own money would waste it so flagrantly.
Okay, Dad chips in.
Oh, this be the same dad you say is dead?
That was a joke or a lie. Take your pick.
You're really frustrating me here, Simone.
I don't consider it a waste, you know? I like the socialization part.
If you fail out of this class, you won't be doing any more socialization.
You assume I'm failing the others.
Oh, so it's just this class then that you have an issue with.
Do you like being a teacher?
Why, yes, I do.
So I'm paying for your enjoyment.
It's not a sin to enjoy one's work, Simone.
I'm just saying, I don't think you should charge me if it's more for your pleasure than for mine.
I didn't say that.
Did you ever want to teach in a real school? Not some second-rate institution like this?
I like my job. You're not going to convince me otherwise.
$4,298.
That is...
Dollars. It's a lot of money. Do you think you're worth it? Do you think this class is worth it? Because I figured it out. This is a 4-credit class. I broke it down. 4,298 big ones. What? Do you think that what you have to teach me is worth that? Come on. Start talking and we'll amortize for each word.
You are clearly a bright girl. You can't expect one's education to be broken down into monetary terms.
Now you just did. That's a lot of money, right? It's food for a starving family in a 5th world country for a year, at least. It's a car. Well, a used one anyway, minus the insurance. Suddenly, this number doesn't sound so huge. It's a couple of our money suits, at most. I don't even like our money, so hey, can't you even say, yes, Simone, I am worth to our money suits. I have that to offer you.
I can't say that. No.
No useful skills to be had here.
You know what? The money doesn't just go into my pocket.
I think it should. It would be more direct that way. You would feel more of a responsibility to me, personally. Don't you think, Dr. Ruth?
I would prefer you not call me that.
But your name is Ruth. And you do have a PhD, don't you?
Okay, Simone.
Wrong kind of doctor, man. All you care about is a bunch of books written 100 years ago and the books written about those books. I bet you're writing a book about a book written about a book right now. Am I right?
If you don't see the connection of books to life, you aren't reading very well. I want you to try. Can you do that? You know, you might find that books show you a way to live.
I'm already living! Dr. Ruth, are you? Because it looks like you haven't changed your hairstyle in about 25 years.
Well, that's before your time, Simone.
Stuck in your best year? Because, I see you in a close-cropped, spiky thing.
Okay, that's enough. We are here to learn, Simone. You are correct in that. We read these books and discuss them with a certain discipline so that we might sharpen our minds, our sensitivity.
It's not going to get me anywhere. Sensitive mind. I don't need that. I can't use that. So what you're offering me, I don't need it. I don't even like the way you dress.
Okay, have you ever been in therapy?
Don't think that's an original suggestion.
Oh, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm simply pointing out that this is not therapy. I am your teacher, not your therapist. You can't just waltz into my office and say whatever hateful things you please.
I don't know how to waltz.
I'm giving up here, Simone. You don't like my class. You don't like me. You want to fail out? I can't stop you. What?
Drew Barrymore would move me.
Who?
I think Drew would do it. Getting to meet Drew.
Who the fuck is Drew Barrymore?
Damn! You really should know these things. She's extremely famous. She's been famous since she was, born. I saw her on TV yesterday, and she was so real. She connected. You know, you really might relate to your students better if you kept a little more up to date.
That might be true, but you might not be so behind if you spent a little less time watching television.
Drew is a film star. She's in films. Do you even go to the movies? Probably only the ones that are totally L7, and I know you don't know what that means. Square? Yeah. Anyway, Drew was on TV because she was being interviewed. They have these daytime talk shows nowadays.
Yeah,
And this chick, she was in the audience and she started to cry because, you know, she couldn't believe that she was in the same room with Drew, who's been famous forever, right? She was just sitting there, sobbing. And this chick, she had her bleached blonde hair pasted down real flat. And she was wearing a rhinestone parade, just like Drew used to. But that look is so old, Drew. It's so 10 minutes ago, Drew. The new Drew is sleek and sophisticated and coiffed. And this girl who wanted to be Drew so bad, she wasn't even current.
I don't think we're getting anywhere.
And that is so sad. Because the thing about Drew is, she's always changing. It's a constant thing with her, the change. She knows that. It's what you've got to do. How to invent yourself again and again so you can keep being the person you like. Keep being that somebody you want to be. And when you've got it, you've got to move on. Or you die. So where was it you were hoping we'd get to? Dr. Ruth?
The exam is tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you read the material, any of the material, I might actually be able to give you a passing grade. But right now, I don't think we need to waste any more of each other's time.
You might say that I watch movies the way that you read books. I would have mentioned that, Dr. Ruth.
Well, I don't imagine that you and I think very much alike.
A wall between our souls? I'm sorry if I've been rude. I'm sure a lot of people like your class. Maybe I wasn't raised right. I'm sure somebody's to blame.
The next day, she showed up at 9 on the dot. I felt a certain pride that I had somehow managed to reach her, that she was finally going to make a real effort. But she handed in her blue book in a matter of minutes. I was rather disgusted, and I let it sit there until a pile formed on top of it. A pile of blue books filled with the scrawlings down to the last second pages of my other more eager, or at the very least, more dutiful students. Later, I began to read them, straight through from the top, in the order that they were stacked. I wasn't looking forward to Simone's. In answering my essay question about how the novel Anna Karenina moves inevitably towards Anna's final tragic act, my students were, for the most part, thorough and precise. They cited the events that led to Anna's throwing herself in front of the train, touching on parallel plots in the broader social context. I was satisfied. I felt that I had taught well this last semester, that my students had learned. In the blue book, she had written, "All happy people resemble one another, but each unhappy person is unhappy in their own way." I guess she really did read Anna Kay. The opening sentence, at least. My first instinct was to correct the grammar of her little variation. There was hardly anything else on the page. She had written one more thing on the last page. "Any world I'm welcome to is better than the one I come from." I'm told it's a rock lyric, something from the 70s. Anna was written in the 70s too, funny enough, a century earlier. I would have given her an F, but I saw that she marked down the failing grade herself on the back of the book. Or maybe that grade was for me. By the time I came to it, days had passed. I didn't leap to conclusions. Come to think of it, Anna's suicide always takes me by surprise as well. Though I've read the novel many times and can map out its inexorable progressions.
That's a lot of money. Do you think you're worth it? Do you think this class is worth it?
I live in worlds made of words. Worlds where the dead can speak. Conversations can be replayed, altered past the moment of regret, held over and over until they are bent into new possibilities.
Do you think I'm worth it? Do you? Do you? Do you?
I live there, where death is as impermanent as an anesthesia, and the moment of obliteration is only a blackout.